So I guess how we came up with the name, my mom did when she whelped me.
Whelping?
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, God, that's a nice way to
10
describe
points for the use of the word whelping in the first segment of this fine interview. So, Stefan, how did you come to know? No, actually, we'll get to that later. Dave, where are you from? Because, like, maybe people don't necessarily know who you are because this is your first video on the MTV, and, you know, people are curious because people are like, who's this Dave Matthews guy? So I'm going to ask you that. Like, where are you from? What are you all about?
Virginia. We're from Virginia, a little town in Virginia. That's where we live in, and in the mountains, and we breed with our relations and breed with our relations, and you know, and then have children with one eyes, or at least their eyes are closer together than they are up here in the north. Yeah. Unless you go way north, to the very north, where there's not enough people, so they have to do the same, I guess. Yeah.
Yes, very nice. But in the Midwest, it's
They
all
do?
different. No, they do not.
They don't do it.
No.
They just talk funny.
Yes, they do. And what's this about you being born in South Africa?
Yes, I was. And then you know, and on the privileged side of the line, when I was there, so my family left.
Yeah.
And then we came here when I was 2, and then we went back when I was 13. So I've bounced back.
Oh,
and
really?
forth.
How long were you there when you were 13?
For high school? Yeah. So all my friends over there, and I experimented with did all my experimenting with drugs when I was there in high school, as opposed to here. So I didn't have as many interesting ones. But because you know, there's not the abundance of interesting things to play with in Africa.
Yes, South Africa.
South Africa.
And did you ever, when you came back here, were you ashamed of having lived there because there's such a stigma in this country attached with?
Well, I couldn't help, you know, whose womb I leapt out of and where they happened to be. So.
Yeah, but a lot of times kids don't understand that, or even the late adolescence.
Yeah, I got attacked a few times by people saying, how can you live in South Africa? Well, it's it all works fine. I didn't mean it. It was just, that's where I ended up. And actually kind of I have a lot of good friends there and a lot of dear people. So it's a pretty great country. It's an awesome country. And now it's even better because the master of the universe, Nelson Mandela's in charge. So
Nelson Mandela.
Yeah.
He was. Where are you from, Stefan Lessard, with a name like that?
From California, actually.
The name's so
but
French it has.
Pretty much from Virginia. I've been there for 7 years.
Nice. How long have you guys been together?
4 years.
4 years?
Yeah.
Like
Met in a bar.
Ooh,
like most
interesting.
People do.
All right, we'll find out more about this story. This is Dave Matthews of the Dave Matthews Band. Coming up, we have Oasis and more with them, so stay here. And we're back. That was PJ Harvey with Down by the Produced by Blood. Not the video. And Dave Matthews and Stefan Lessard of the Dave Matthews Band have arrived. We're talking to them. Dave and Stefan, how did you assemble the Dave Matthews Band? What kind of selection process? Was there an audition?
There was an auditioning process. There was a lot of people involved in the audition. A lot of other people produced. No, it was just we all met in the same bar. We were working in the same bar and drinking and together and late. And I was bartending. Yeah. And he used to come down and play there. And Leroy, the sax player, and the drummer Carter used to come down and play there. And Boyd.
Boyd.
Who plays the violin, he used to come down and play there. So the 5 of us met there over years, I guess. And then one day I said, you know, I'm not only a bartender, I'm also a singer-songwriter. and so you listen to my tape and maybe we play together. And then so we did, and then we played together, and it was, yeah.
And it all came together.
Yeah, and now we're still playing together, and we're driving around.
Now tell me about the record you did that sold 100,000 copies. You did that all yourself, your own label, like your own merchandising and everything. Did you expect that it was going to sell that many records? Yeah, that's why we sort of conspired not to sign with the record company, that first one, because we thought we'd been running around for 2 years playing and working and trying to get an audience, and then we built a nice big following. So we thought it would be silly at that stage to sign with the record company and then have them because you get all the goods yourself,
money. Yeah. So I want my money.
So that's cool, because usually people are like, no man, I thought it was gonna suck, but you actually were optimistic. But now you're on a major label. Now do you find that a major label? I know you're here and you're all lovely people. Hi, how are you? But do you find that they hinder you and you kind of feel caged, or is it like they do more of the legwork so you get to sit back and write the songs?
A little bit of both.
Yeah.
You know, we have to go and do lots of strange interviews. I spend a large portion of my day talking to people on the telephone.
Have you talked to Kathleen and Regis yet?
No, and I can't wait. I think, you know, we can look at RCA to maybe that's who we're signed. Maybe they'll just put us right there.
Excellent. Placement, placement, placement.
Yeah.
Now, Stefan, how do you feel being in a band that sometimes is categorized in that neo-deadhead category with like Fish and Big Head Todd?
I've never actually thought of it like that.
Yeah.
I've never really thought of this band like
Our
that.
society like categorizes everything.
But yeah, and
He loves that. He loves that. He loves
I've never really known that
you don't think of
scene
yourself
too well.
that way, yeah.
So, I mean,
I only found out recently that Jerry Garcia didn't have all his fingers.
I didn't
You
know
didn't
that
know
either.
that?
No, no.
Yeah, Jerry's
that's
missing like a
new.
middle finger.
You see, you didn't
That's
know that?
brand new.
He didn't
I didn't know
either.
that.
Isn't that amazing? Someone told me.
Trivia that
I
you
looked at
couldn't
this.
find.
I looked
Did
at
you hear
a
this on
photo of
MTV
his
Jams?
guitar, and he was like, Jerry Garcia's missing fingers. Hanging on a few pounds. but
And he's fantastic.
Yeah, and
Making
he is.
ties, Stefan, we're gonna. Okay, it's Kennedy. And that was a nice video, wasn't it? Well, on the way still we have Mila. These are videos from them. And we're talking to Dave Matthews and Stefan Lessard from the Dave Matthews Band. We're going to talk more with you boys in just a little bit. And then I want to show your record. See, look, have to hold it up over there. Woo! Hold it down so it doesn't glare. Under the table and dreaming. Who was it? It was some famous white-haired composer said that the human voice was the most beautiful instrument.
He said that? Well, it depends on who's singing.
You'll be swell. Do you watch